We've reached a point where facts don't matter. So long as you're debunking something, anything, the media can say that your claim is wrong.
The President of the United States refusing to accept the results of this Democratic election. What kind of message do you think this sends not only to the people who voted, but abroad, our allies and our enemies?
Jake, I think it really undermines the United States' ability to take the sort of high road when it comes to democratic standards when we can't really even enforce it here at home. I think what we are seeing, and I think what the American people should recognize, is that this is an exercise in people who have power doing everything that they can to hold on to it.
Without evidence, Jake Tapper, unsubstantiated claims, but somehow Joe Biden won and the election's over. They even invented the office of the president-elect that didn't exist before. It's reached the point where the media and Democrats are completely inventing a reality that they want and living in this pretend world for people to see.
Pretend?
Simply declaring Joe Biden is the president-elect doesn't make it so. All it's doing is drumming up public opinion and outrage so that if it turns out Trump won, there's going to be a lot of anger. Certain people say that there's no fraud anywhere. Don't question it, you guys. Definitely don't post about it on social media. Completely ignore this list of Republican poll watchers who were denied entry in Philadelphia, one of which is Trump advisor and former campaign manager Corey Lewandowski. A couple people actually did get in, so just ignore the rest of them. What about the Project Veritas whistleblowers that we showed you in videos last week? Now, one of them actually came forward on his name, but don't worry because Twitter and the media, with the help of some federal agents, decided that he wanted to change his story. Oh, but it turns out they didn't actually reach out to whistleblower Richard Hopkins. The media, along with the federal agents, decided for him on his behalf that he's recanting his story. But there is hidden audio that the federal agents are trying to coerce the witness into remembering something else other than what he actually said.
And so let me make good on that promise right away, okay? This storm is getting crazy, right? And it's out of a lot of people's control. And so the reason they called me in is to try to harness that storm, try to reel it back in before it gets really crazy. Okay?
I understand.
Because we have senators involved, we have the Department of Justice involved, we have
Trump's lawyers team's gotten a hold of me.
I'm not, well, I am actually. I am trying to twist you a little bit because in that, believe it or not, your mind will kick in.
Okay.
We like to control our mind, and when we do that, we can convince ourselves of a memory. But when you're under a little bit of stress, which is what I'm doing to you purposely, your mind can be a little bit clearer. And we're going to do a different exercise too to make your mind a little bit clearer. Okay?
Good to go.
So, but this is all on purpose.
Roger.
I'm not scaring you, but I am scaring you.
That's the game here for the media. Lie first to try to shift the narrative, and then worry about correcting it later if somebody disputes it. It's been well over a day since this has been disputed, and Twitter still says the opposite, despite the person, despite Project Veritas, and other outlets saying otherwise. Even with the person who is the subject of the article disagreeing with it, disagreeing with the recount of what he says. Only the narrative matters here. Our good friend Austin Fletcher is even having his own battle with CNN debunking his claims about election fraud. We featured those claims in a recent article. Now, Facebook deemed this list of dead voters as fake news. The only problem is they're actually fact-checking a completely different list.
Daniel Dale from CNN says, my CNN colleagues looked into 50 of the names on the viral MAGA list, supposedly showing 14,000 Michigan cases of ballots being cast in the name of dead people. Wow, very busy day for you, Dan. So before we even jump into the results, 14,000, that's not the same list. The list we came up with and we produced is 10,000 and it's tight. They're debunking a list that, no offense, some lady posted on Facebook. 14,000 people, that's not our list. And they even said it's been taken down since then. Our list is still up. They're making it seem like that's the list. That's what everyone's talking about. So the results they got are 37 are dead, no vote cast. 5 are alive and voted. 8 are alive and didn't vote. Oh, so the results of your fake debunk list that doesn't matter was that our list is 10,000 and it's tight. If CNN doesn't believe me, we'll do the first 1,000 for you.
Fact checkers. Can't live with them, well, no, you definitely can live without them. Just debunk something, anything. Get the claim out of the headlines and just say it was fake, it was another right-wing conspiracy theory. It's all for the narrative. It must be getting pretty hard to be a mainstream media journalist these days. Wait, maybe it's really easy now because you can just debunk anything and you'll be an international news story. If you want to get great on-the-ground coverage from Washington, from New York, from Portland right now, go to rebel2020.com and consider pitching in.